A big round of applause. He's going to talk about agility.
Thank you very much. I'm very impressed to be presenting agility to you. 2 days ago, I was in the Tech Hub Tuesday presenting it, and it's a big challenge for me because it's the beginning of those presentations. So just to clarify, I'm not a developer, although I did a short web development course a few months ago. I'm the co-founder of Agili, and I'm more into the product development and the business development of the solution. But we thought it was good to show you what you can do with Meteor in terms of commercial apps, and also explain you the process we went through and the difficulties we faced, and what are the challenges we are facing now with the solution. So just to explain what is a goal management solution, because maybe for you it's not very clear. When you work in a company, and you probably need to just ensure that we're moving the next slide. Yeah, so it's me first. I've got like 27 years experience. I've been managing companies, being finance director. And like a year and a half ago, I decided to change career, start my own business. As I said, I did some web development course, full stack web development course for 3 months, learned coding on Rails, and then decided to launch Agili and opt for the Meteor platform because the developer who joined us team was quite fond of using Meteor for that. And my partner is with my sister as well, is into marketing for many years. So that's the team. So the problem that we try to solve is, how do you get people in your team aware of what are the objectives of the company, and how do you align those team and individual objectives with the company ones? So if the company has an ambition to grow, to develop the sales, you want to everybody contribute toward these objectives. There's the HR process of appraisal, performance appraisal, which is very disconnected from what people are doing daily or weekly. And what we try to solve here is get the managers aware of what the team is doing, get the team sharing their objectives and their progress, and getting everybody on the same line. So it's a mobile app which is going to answer to those questions. Just to give you an idea, we've got a web app and then a mobile app as well. It works on all platforms. You will see it's responsive and reactive. And we really design it in a way that it works out of the box. There's no administration to be done. There's no like big apps or big systems in companies where you've got to do integration and then customization or whatever. It works out of the box. So there's 3 main features in the app. One is managing your goals, or seeing the goals or the objectives of your team or people who share goals with you. The second one is visualize progress through metrics. Could be the monthly sales, could be the number of leads, marketing leads that you generate weekly, for instance, and you see that through a graph. And then you have a reporting feature, what we call playbook, which is basically the same way you add a music track to a playlist. Well, you add your goals to a playbook, and then when your goals are updated, automatically the reporting is updated. And you can subscribe to reports and be aware of progress in your team. So I'm going to show you the app. If I manage to, yeah, I think I'm not very used to double screens, so yeah, that works. Okay, and we're probably going to make it a bit bigger. There's an iOS version. I will explain that to you later, but I need to find a way to move the iOS later. So the app is live in production. I'm just using the test server because I don't want to be creating rubbish in the production. So the way the app is designed is around cards, very similar to Facebook or other ways of representing information. So each card is an objective or a goal, and then you've got a progression bar which is showing you whether things are going well or you are behind your target. And like on the browser, I'm connected as Lisa, and on the smartphone, I'm connected as Mike. So they're working together, they're sharing information together. You've got your goals, you've got your team goals, and if Lisa goes to the team goals, she will see some of the goals that Mike has responsibility for. For instance, distribution of the cost here is as well here. So they're sharing the same view about the information. And when you click on a card, you've got a more detailed information, which is displayed in the same way. It's just that it's responsive, so you need to have a different view of the information. And if Michael update, for instance, here the metrics, so in September they were at 24,000 pounds of distribution cost. Let's say that for the following period they are at 26, and they say slightly increase. When the information is updated, actually I don't know why it didn't refresh here, but it's updated on both screens at the same time. It's reactive. You have a possibility to add actions to the objectives, a bit like you have like tasks, actions. So it's action 1. The action may have a deadline here. Let's say that we want to do it by the 16th of March, and then you eventually can also delegate that action to someone else. Let's say Peter, for instance. And you see that the action is displayed now in both, so it's real time as you expect with a Meteor app. The other feature you've got is that you've got your list of actions. So basically, you have a reminder what you need to deliver to achieve your goals. And as I mentioned before, there's a reporting feature here. So you can create playbooks, which are like reports, where you add your goals. And Michael didn't create any playbook, but he can see the playbooks that Lisa has created and shared with him. So the operational performance dashboard, for instance, is as well in the list of playbooks that Michael can see. And if they click on the report, they will have a detailed view of the report, with each goal being displayed with all the information to make decisions. And that support like teams management when you want to talk about how you're progressing and whether there are issues, and then you can make decisions and record those decisions as actions or comments in the goals, because I didn't mention that, but you can create comments as well. For instance, in this goal, for instance, you've got an action here, and then you've got comments here as well, where Martha and Lisa and Stephen have discussed about the progress made, in the same way that you can have a discussion on WhatsApp, for instance. So discussions can happen as well outside of the goals, and we've got channels, like on Slack, for instance. You can create channels of discussions. Well, you can create channels of discussions as well, and broadcast information to all your organization, or have discussions one-to-one with some people, or have group discussions within your team. That's it for the demo. Just to mention that we've embedded as well a feature to invite your colleagues on board, because we believe that it's a collaboration tool, so it should be extremely easy to bring on board other colleagues working with you. And obviously, it could be also people outside of your company working with you, customers or freelancers or contractors. And the system should really make it very easy for inviting people. It's just sending an email, and then you click on the email, you enter your password, and you are on the app. So it works very in the same way you invite people on WhatsApp or whatever. Okay. So that's the features. I'm going to wrap up a bit what we've done in terms of development. If I manage to find the cursor. And I'm going to make it a bit bigger. So the architecture, the app is, there's actually two apps on Meteor. There's one which is the user app, and there's the admin app for us to create companies and users, although users can set up themselves on the app and they can create their own company. So we don't need really to make any administrative activity to help users be on board, and that's very important for us. We've got a web app at the moment. The iOS app is built and tested. I just need to complete the process with Apple Store to release it. And the next challenge is building the Android app. We haven't done it yet, so we don't know how it's going to work. The app has been developed with Meteor 1.2, Iron Router, simple schema, emails, avatar, autoform, and more packages as well. Because we are a startup, we didn't have much time, and we try to use as much as packages as possible. The UI that you see is based on Semantic UI. This is a decision I've made. I thought that Semantic a few months ago was much better than Bootstrap 3. Now there's Bootstrap 4. I don't know if it's released yet in production, but Bootstrap 4 has the cards now. Bootstrap 3 didn't have cards. For the to build the iOS app, we're using Ionic, Meteoric. The package, the design, I will show you briefly the way the app is built, but it's all based on packages. I will try to show you that now. It was as well a decision of the developer to ensure, just need to, yeah. Oh, it's a bit funny because I don't see the, I will have to do it, sorry for, I'm not very proficient in manipulating the cursor and looking in my back. So, yeah, and I probably can do it a bit bigger. No, it doesn't work here.
You can increase the font size of the editor, but not the tree.
Yeah, okay. Okay, the tree. So, there's the deployment part, which is we're using Meteor Up for deployment in production and in testing as well. We've got the services here. So basically, I mentioned to you there's the admin app and the web app. And the web app is built with packages. So there's many packages for each features. They are really standalone, except the core package, which really serves all the other packages. But this way, we ensure that when we develop and we do testing, we don't have a regression, and the testing is easier as well. Yeah, that's it in terms of architecture of the app. And bear with me because I'm not a technician, an engineer, so I don't understand everything, but I try to explain it in the best way. We use Velocity to do the testing. It's hosted in AWS. So that was a decision we made because the person who's helping us on the system administration was more confident with AWS than other solutions. So we've got 2 app servers, we've got a load balancer, and then a server for the MongoDB database, which is actually replicated in another server. So it's really production ready. Normally we should be able to scale up the app quite easily by adding additional servers. I know that there's like packages to help you manage that scale up, but we didn't opt for it for the moment. Might be in the future. So I mentioned that we use MUP for deployment and Kadira for monitoring the performances. Although we've got also watch things on LWS as well. We have some controlling of the performance of the servers and availability, but we use Kadira at the same time. So what are the learnings from that? Tim really gave me his feedback this week to say what went well. So we had an MVP in 1 month and a half, which is great because I started designing the solution end of June. Tim started the development early September. We met I think around the 20th of July together to discuss the project. He started development beginning of September. Mid-October was already facing customers demonstrating the solution. And I believe that because I choose to use Meteor, that was possible. If we have opted for other development framework, that wouldn't have been possible. And that's for us as a startup was extremely important because we wanted as soon as possible to go and show something to the customers. And yeah, you can do wireframing, but it doesn't demonstrate what you want to do. The second thing is that our beta version is on scope and on time with just one developer, less than 5 months, less than 6 months, including Christmas period and things like that. So it's extremely impressive what a team has done in that period of time. It's reactive and responsive. It works very well on tablets, on smartphones, using either Safari or Chrome or other browsers. We've got some little issues with some pop-up windows that we used for entering data, for instance, which didn't play very well on some small screens. So that might be something I should recommend. Don't use pop-up windows, nothing like that, models. Just use plain pages. And Tim enjoyed really coding full stack with JavaScript. I think his background it's been 20 years coding. He's been doing apps for Mac and development for Mac and development for iOS, and he really was enjoying coding with JavaScript. The package architecture, which I show you, the things that we think we should have improved. The SSL connection. I think we did a mistake at the beginning, not enforcing SSL connection right at the beginning. So now we have to reconsider the way we structure the architecture of AWS architecture, because we are ending currently the HTTPS connection at the load balancer level, and Amazon Web Service is not managing very well the DDP connection through the load balancer. So this is something you really need to look at very carefully. Your architecture may have implications on the security. And the iOS app, although I'm relatively pleased to have an hybrid app for a cost which is really nothing, because we didn't have to do any native development. It's just building the app. Team spent a lot of time fixing CSS problems, and the Meteor package didn't deliver as we were expecting. In particular, we had to remove the momentum feature in the app because it was just making screens blank. So this is an experience that I would recommend you test before promising that you can deliver an hybrid app with Meteor. Do some testing to ensure effectively that all the packages are working together nicely and you've got a nice user interface experience. But for the moment, we are happy with what we've got, and then maybe we will have to reconsider using either React Native or doing a native iOS app. We will have to see that in the future. I'm trying to go a bit faster now. What is on our to-do list? We still have learning. We want to build the Android app. I haven't done anything on it. I say why because it's actually me who's doing that. And I'm jungling my time, balancing my time between facing customers and trying to fix a lot of stuff in a startup. Onboarding users, as I said to Alan, it's very difficult to get the customers coming on board, because we're talking with medium-sized and large corporates, and the decision process is long. So whether some people said to us in October, yes, we want to test the app with you as soon as you're ready, actually the decision process is longer, and they say, oh, we've got another project to work on, and blah, blah, blah. So today I was in Coventry, cross fingers, in few days time we will get our first customer on board. We're actually using the app for managing the startup, which is a good way to know whether your product is good or not. Monitoring activity with the app, this is a big question I've got. I want really to know what people are doing with the app, and we need to progress on finding a solution for that. Getting pilot users experience and feedback, it's critical. I think we decided with team we stop the development until we get that feedback from the users. There's no way to really continuing development until you get the users feedback. And scaling Meteor up, I mean, as for the moment it works very nicely, two servers are balanced and everything, but I really want to see the scale up on when we've got probably 100 or 200 users, see how things are working. Enforcing SSL, I mentioned to you, I'm working at the moment trying to find the right architecture on AWS, and probably rebuilding the servers for production in a different way. Ionic meteoric issue, I honestly I don't know. Team has been fed up with that, so for the moment I say okay, let's do it without momentum on the app, but if you've got any idea about that, I would really welcome your suggestion. Next is really build a RESTful API and probably a connector with Zapier. All customers are saying, okay, your app is very nice, but we don't want to have to enter manually data in the app. So probably for some interfaces will be needed. So I was talking with Alan whether Meteor was a good platform to build a RESTful API or not. Probably not. We probably want to have a third app which is just pure API package. Notifications at the moment, because it's a web app, we don't have notifications. And in the iOS app we didn't develop notification because we thought it was not the first thing to do. Internationalization, as you can hear, I'm French. I've got potential customers in France, and it's already prepared in the app, but we still need to do a bit of work around what package we are going to use to switch languages. Additional features, we've got a list of features that we didn't put in the first version, the beta version, because we had constraint of budget and time, but also because customers will have some feedback about what they expect the app to do. Analytics, I mentioned that a bit. I think it's really critical to be able to know what the users are doing with your app, but as well being able to provide information back to your users, like for instance benchmarks. And machine learning, my big ambition is that Agile is not just an app to manage goal, but is an app to help decision making. And so what I want to do is augmented reality. It's augmented information where you provide the users information to make decision in the right time. Beautify the user interface. Because we try to develop in a very short period of time, we use standard semantic UI objects, components. It's not bad, but I think we could do better. And I think a beautiful app make the users more willing to use it. And probably thinking about evolution, because all the platforms change very quickly. So whether we should go for Meteor 1.3, whether we should change from Blaze to React, whether we should use React Native instead of using Meteoric, and so that all the questions we will try to answer in the following months. In terms of startup, we are really at the beginning acquiring our pilot customers. So our objective by the summer is get our first paying customers, which is very important to demonstrate that you've got traction. We want also to raise funding, because for the moment we bootstrap the project. I don't say when. I mean, it's very uncertain when you can raise funding, but hopefully before the end of the year. And then build a development team, a technical team, build some team which is going to provide a customer experience and ensure that our customers are using the app and getting benefits from it. And building a marketing and sales engine as well, because we need, and we have the ambition to get a lot of users on the app and not just in the UK. Thank you very much.